All right. Good morning, everybody. It is Monday, February 5th, 2024. We're going to go ahead and jump back and take a look at what happened here on Friday. We had one final major area of resistance above us that we were looking at going into Friday. And that pocket, I'll go ahead and just pull up our higher time frames here. That pocket happened to be 89 to 96. So before we came into the market on Friday, we were contending with this zone right here. Remember, we came into it back at, I believe, last week at one point, had trouble for an entire day right inside of this pocket. We got a major pullback from it. We got our recovery coming into the end of last week. Interestingly enough, the bears pulled price back from that zone and held the 38 retrace of this whole push. And then we popped up going into Friday of last week, right into our next major area of expected resistance, and that's exactly where we got our pullback coming into this morning now. So our final pocket of major resistance is exactly where we found resistance on Friday, and now we're just a couple levels away from the all-time high in the S&P. So let's look at some of the details here outside the fact that we failed right from the next expected resistance zone here. Let's look at what happened on this whole rally all the way up. So jump back to the open here, and basically the market opened and it was just kind of a nice bullish trend for nearly the entire day. We did get one nice hefty pullback about, let's just say, just before noon Central Time here, and they came right back to test all the resistance from the morning, which also happened to be the close of the day before to the tick nearly. So got a nice healthy, biggest pullback of the day, came right back to the previous daily close, and then they rallied it again all the way up, only to fail from, again, that pocket from 49.89 to 96. And it happened to also be our next major structure level, our scaffolding level here around 95. So we just kind of peeked into it, retested it, and then failed. So let's look at some of the pullbacks on the way up. Lots of great opportunities out of the open here. Once the market got through VWAP, we got a pullback right to our roadmap level at 40.5. And then it's continued on its way. So if you were watching this, kind of waiting to see if maybe the bears would jump in and hold the market below VWAP, it became pretty clear once we got back through it here on the pullback. If you missed out buying the first roadmap level that we had on the chart, you got that beautiful pullback right to the 200 here just a couple minutes later. You even got a second pullback to the 200 here to tag it nearly to the tick, and then it was just kind of a really strong rally out of there. So buying any of these pullbacks here out of the open, especially once we got this nice strong peak through the VWAP, buying the pullback to the first roadmap level, buying the pullback to the 200, or even the scaffolding level here, you were basically in for this whole push all the way up to our expected resistance zone. If you missed out on that, again, beautiful pullback to the close. And then once we got the rally back up, you also got opportunities on the pullback to our next roadmap level at 72, to the 200 once again. And then you even had this whole stair step scenario that we basically talk about every single day, where we held the close, then we held our support and resistance, or our swing level, and then we held our next support and resistance, and then we held our next swing level at 88. So pretty much each pullback to these areas would have been a great low risk opportunity. The thing is by the time you bought into 89, we were right inside of that pocket, 89 to 96. So that would have been probably probably a little too late to really capture anything, but you still got a nice 5-point pop out of it. Again, at the end of the day, we did get our pullback right from our expected resistance here, and then that was it. And then we got a nice bounce once again off our swing level at 72. So very good stuff that happened there on Friday. That brought us here into the overnight session, our Sunday Globex coming into Monday morning here. And again, just kind of getting a nice healthy pullback. What you would expect in a strong market is to get some type of in-breath here. And again, last night, some great opportunities, beautiful parries right off the 200. not only once, not only twice, but a third time here. You could have made some decent money on this little pullback. And now here we are just kind of petering out in a tight, choppy range right now, coming into the open for Monday morning. So let's go ahead and jump up to our higher time frames.